Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et bienvenue sur ce live de The Council sur Fabrice Fun&Gaming. Et je vais continuer la suite. Il va se passer que je suis au chapitre 2, à la moitié on va dire. Je vais faire comme ça, je vais faire 1h30 pour chaque chapitre. Et en première partie, puis en deuxième partie, on se osef complètement de combien de temps ça prend. Donc on devait chercher des indices. On en était où déjà? S'il pouvait nous donner ne serait-ce que... Bah, vous savez quoi? En gros, on cherche des indices sur ce qui s'est passé, ici. Une petite pièce de collection.
Great, honey.
Ah, super. Voilà, c'est bon.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
Alors, un homme à
Who could
l'épée.
she be suspicious of?
Il nous manque un personnage,
Must find
un
its
invité,
part.
donc ça doit être lui.
Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Ah, mais il y a aussi, comment il s'appelle déjà? Washington qui a une épée sur lui. Donc, ça va être dur de savoir qui.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Ok. On va mettre les fleurs, audio. Bienvenue sur le live, la personne qui n'arrive. Salut Super Coca, bienvenue.
What is this disc?
Oh, pour un,
Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
un aimant. Bah, on va le prendre. Pierre magnétique.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Alors Super Coca, oui, j'ai appris pour Cyberpunk qui a été repoussé à septembre. Je l'ai appris il y a quelques minutes avant de commencer. Puis alors. Et franchement, même si ça me met dans un état qui me fait que putain, ça vient plus tard, bah ça vient plus tard, tant mieux. Si le jeu est repoussé, qu'il est peaufiné, tant mieux. Mais j'espère que ce sera pour ça, parce que sinon voilà quoi. L'homme à l'épée.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. Let's see if it works.
Ah, je me voyais mal enfoncer la porte aussi, hein. Parce qu'avec le disque, tu peux attirer... je sais pas, moi je parlais du loquet, mais pas de la clé en elle-même. C'est vraiment haut comme porte en bas. Le bas de porte est un peu haut pour laisser passer une clé. Donc ouais, Cyberpunk est repoussé à septembre. Ma foi, bah, va falloir faire avec.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Oh.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting, and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Ok.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni.
Ok, je suis en train de le répéter, désolé. Au moins je suis prudent.
Transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. A cache.
Pièce de collection.
The New Testament. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Je crois que j'ai compris. Alors attends.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
Verset 11.
Then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God."
Je cherche du 11, hein, c'est pour ça qu'il a parlé de 11 tout à l'heure. Chapitre 11, verset 11. Ce serait pas ça?
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between
Yes,
the
j'ai
pages
trouvé.
here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. Know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply. Hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that? It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies? On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle, that was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John.
L'Apocalypse de... Attends.
But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes.
Alors attends, je vais revenir en arrière, j'ai pas tout compris. Attends. Un et 3, c'est ça?
I guess I'll just come back later.
Ouais, j'y reviendrai plus tard parce que là ça me prend chou. Alors.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Sophistria. Ok, j'ai plein de croix de Malte.
Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Rini. There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
J'aime pas les énigmes, c'est tellement chiant. Je suis obligé de chercher dans l'Apocalypse de Jean. Bon bah du coup on va tout chercher.
Saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing." And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And a voice came out of the throne, saying, "Praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great." And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, waiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note. Something else behind this painting. It says, "Half of each group will join the first city of Corinth." What the hell does that mean? Group of pilgrims. If I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
Si c'est 7, ok. Non, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Alors.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up.
I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them.
And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
There's nothing worth noticing here.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
6-8. Bon, bah d'accord.
And so it was that
Mais non,
while
putain.
they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
J'ai appuyé trop vite, je suis désolé. Alors.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message.
There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him.
Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Et Paul, il était où? Je me trompe à chaque fois. Alors.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword.
Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting, and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Ce serait pas 13-11 à ce moment-là? Putain, elles sont compliquées les meufs à se parler comme ça. Et... Alors...
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
J'ai une petite... Peut-être que c'est parce qu'il est tout seul, ce serait 13-1. Sinon je fais tous les 13, hein, parce qu'au bout d'un moment ça me casse les couilles. Alors. Ça c'est fait.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and neither tempteth he any man.
Non, c'est pas ça, alors.
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit.
Alors, c'est pas ça.
I guess I'll just come back later. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
D'accord.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Bon, on va tout reprendre du coup, 13-4.
And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore.
Je vais essayer au cas où, alors.
And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole
Bon, je sais le
multitude
tout, hein, parce qu'au
stood
bout d'un
on
moment,
the
je commence
shore.
à un peu en avoir le cul. 13-2. Alors, ça, c'est pas bon.
Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, for we are as reprobates.
Alors, hop.
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit.
Là, je veux vraiment pas, du coup, arrêter
I
de
guess I'll
lire.
just come back later. St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Je sens que j'ai pas le choix, alors. Alors, tac. Ça commence à me bourrer, un genre de conneries, mais bon, je le fais quand même.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
J'ai pas compris en fait, c'est ça le truc, c'est que je cherche et puis voilà. Ah putain, non ça suffit, j'en ai marre. J'en ai marre, je pète un câble. Donc... Attends. Oh mais putain. Va le comprendre ça, allez vous faire foutre. Alors, merci. Acte des apôtres, chapitre 10. Verset 8, j'ai pas envie de réfléchir à ces conneries-là.
And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave
Et
urgently.
c'est pour la dernière énigme que j'ai eu
First, I
besoin d'une
absolutely
solution.
must go
Putain, mais c'est
beyond
de la
the
merde.
nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything? Well, if it's a concept, I've got no idea what it is. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Épisode 2, où est ma mère? J'ai convaincu Lord Mortimer de la culpabilité d'un suspect. J'ai trouvé tous les échanges entre ma mère et eux. J'ai découvert le message de ma mère. Je n'ai pas compris le message de ma mère au sujet du cauchemar. Et bah, elle va te faire foutre alors. Et alternative, aucune. Donc, il fallait que je mette des points dans subterfuge. Donc je dois avoir 3 lectures. 3 fois obtenu un destin tragique. Youpi, alors. Occultisme, allez. Alors. Occultisme, c'est quoi? Théatricum, chemicum, le plus important est celle d'accomplir l'action décrite sur la chimie. Et la Renaissance, youpi. Là, c'est en linguistique. Ouais, il faudrait, hein, parce que mon personnage en linguistique, c'est une bite. Diversion. Logique. Attends, diversion, je suis où, moi? Ah ouais, il faudrait que je le passe, en fait, là, ok. Ok, apprenti, ok.
This time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Monsieur Johann van Volner. President George Washington. Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge. Better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined. What?
Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you, as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you, too. Of course.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Hear you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
Alors on va faire gaffe quand même parce que je veux pas faire n'importe quoi. Donc ils sont tous là maintenant. Donc c'était qui déjà lui? Bonne il est vulnérable à la diversion, immunisé à l'occultisme. Ok, donc ça c'est bon. Donc Godoy Manuel, secrétaire d'État, chef du gouvernement espagnol, favori du roi Charles IV d'Espagne. Godoy gravit rapidement les échelons de la politique, amant de la reine Marie-Louise Bourbon de Parme. Il attira sur lui les jalousies des princes d'Espagne en tant que secrétaire d'État. Il développa et renforça l'empire colonial espagnol, notamment aux Amériques. Il œuvra pour la libération de Louis XVI, dont Louis XVI, dont il était très proche, mais en vain. Je vais éternuer. Ceci attisa son ressentiment contre le gouvernement républicain français. Invité par Sir Gregory Holm, Godoy se présente chez Mortimer avec la ferme intention de calmer les volontés d'expansion des États-Unis d'Amérique sur leur continent.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
The cat's out of the bag? More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book, which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
As my mother's got so many old books, I'm afraid I won't be able to...
Oh, it's easy. You can't mistake this one. It's an ancient grimoire, composed of 7 parts. Each one is closed under lock and key. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. If you find it, you mustn't tamper with it. You see?
That's unusual. Unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell. I'll look again, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchet in Paris. Do you know him?
The name doesn't mean anything to me, I'm sorry to say.
He's an expert in occult objects and books, and your mother said she knew him. Are you sure his name doesn't ring a bell?
Let me think.
I shan't keep you, Monsieur de Richet.
All right then. Thank you.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon. I must go now. I'll see you later.
Ah bah merde, j'ai cru que lui mentir, ce serait une bonne idée. Ah oui, mais je me rappelle maintenant, il faut être positif dans les réponses. Bah nique-toi, hein. Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je te dise? Pièce de collection. Du honey, youpi.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia.
Page d'encyclopédie. 2 sur 5. 2 sur 4. Ça commence à être un peu chiant, je trouve. Pas de choses dans le coin. Le coin, il n'y a pas de choses. Mais à part ça, il y a... Il y a hein? Il y a Napoléon dans le coin, donc on va lui parler.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed.
That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why's that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Pas des nouvelles choses. Je fouille dans le coin. C'est pour s'asseoir là.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You've caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second. No, nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but... Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it. Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service, day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
Ça va être sympa, il faut que j'aille là parce qu'il y a une boîte. Une boîte. J'avais vu les tableaux, hein. C'est juste pour voir s'il n'y a pas de la bouffe ou un truc coincé. Chouette. La boîte.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle. All right, I've retrieved everything.
De la gelée royale, ça fait plaisir.
Amber crystals.
Là, il y a une bibliothèque. C'est là qu'il faut que j'aille, sauf que je vais d'abord parler à Mr Bean là. Bien, je peux aller partout presque. Alors attends.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Your Eminence, I'm sorry for King Louis, but he did everything to put himself there.
Louis, how can you say such a thing? Even if France rejects the church, you don't go and behead a person of high status. They always serve our cause better alive than dead. Politically, it's absurd.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Donc il est immunisé à la logique, ok, puis vulnérabilité à interrogatoire. Ok, pas de problème.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well, be it Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory, we are never informed about the theme of the conference before it begins.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall behind his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited. It is titled The Nightmare, and it shows a woman lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
You never know. Thank you for that, though, Your Eminence. I gotta go and see it just in case, though.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
As to his faith, I have no doubt. However, his ambition seems to surpass his morality, and I hope that it will not sully the crown.
You can say that again. The blue eyes of the latest Infanta, Maria Isabel, have left everyone wondering.
Rumors always accompany men of power, Your Eminence.
Naturally. But the number of awards and titles granted by the Queen during these past 4 years leaves little doubt.
So, Godoy really is this out-and-out rascal who uses his charm on the Queen. Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
C'est bien ce que je pensais, aller direct dans le bureau de Mortimer, du coup c'est ce que je vais faire. Et Mortimer, où elle est ma mère? Alors, bah du coup il est où ce bureau à la con? Ça c'est quoi? Il est là-haut.
What do you want, Louis?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
I doubt that Lord Mortimer invited him for his charm, if you want my opinion. Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organize this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier. You'll see. You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
On va essayer de passer partout, du coup, avant d'aller chez Mortimer. Quoi? Non.
President George Washington.
J'espère tellement ici, alors ici c'était ouf.
Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ouais, bah donc du coup lui je peux pas, ok.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ok, donc il faut vraiment que j'arrive à monter. Plus par où c'est en fait. c'est bon. Il me semblait qu'il y avait une boîte ici aussi, je sais plus si je l'avais ouverte ou si elle n'était pas... Enfin bref. Alors bien...
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare? The Book of the Mortimer family. Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming. Le coup de lance by Paul Rubens.
Il m'a fait peur ce con. Je crois qu'il y avait quelqu'un qui se faisait agresser, moi.
It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research. It looks like a war painting. It's dated. That's what you generally feed birds. A painting about a siege, dated. A family ancestor, apparently. Let's take a closer look. Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals. Dark chocolate beans, very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society. Might come in handy. A mynah bird.
Well, Waldo, is your master good? Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah? What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? Good God, what's been happening here? Well, Waldo, is your master good? I don't really know what I was expecting.
Attends, comptabilité de l'armée de l'année... Ah, de l'année 1792, 8156 livres, nourriture. 6200 livres, bougies. C'est 2621 livres, pierre de taille. 1600 livres, Un marbre de Corinthe, ah d'accord, il paye, c'est des livres anglaises, d'accord, il paye 9227 livres en bois, 2800 livres, 2680 livres en vitraux, 280 000 livres en toile de maître, la vache, 3641 livres en tissu, 25 000 en vin, 254 en eau, 13 000 en poudre, total 360 437 livres. Pensez à réduire la consommation de bois l'année prochaine. Cher monsieur Guido Poletti, je vous écris concernant les dates des tableaux que je vous ai fait parvenir pour votre exposition temporaire. Veuillez noter que ces derniers faisant partie de ma collection privée sont datés selon le calendrier franc-maçon, AL, en vigueur à l'époque. Comme vous le devinez donc, il vous faudra penser à retirer 4000 ans... à retirer 4000 ans si vous voulez que le public ne s'étonne pas de la datation de ces œuvres. Inutile de vous rappeler que l'année maçonnique OAL commence en mars, pas en janvier. Concernant le tableau de Longinus, je me suis permis de faire retoucher sa lance afin de mieux correspondre à sa véritable lance. Je ne saurais trop vous conseiller d'en faire autant sur vos représentations de ce dernier. Veuillez agréer, monsieur, mes salutations sincères, l'ordre William Alexander Mortimer, marquis de Westfordshire. Ok.
Now, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Ah, mais je connaissais ce tableau du cauchemar, moi. J'avais déjà vu. Pas dans le jeu, hein, mais en vrai.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere. Aha! I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed. Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller. Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller. Now, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. This painting isn't finished. And it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre-Amédée de la Salle.
Hey, the dates indicate AL, and it looks like 4,000 years have been added to our calendar. Oh, that counting system again. The Crusades took place not long after the year 1000. Here all the dates say 5,000 and something. I'm guessing this dating system begins 4,000 years before the calendar that we use. Yet, I'm getting the feeling that there's something else, another small detail, but what is it? The author is Pierre Amédée de la Salle, none other than the Grand Master of the Masonic Lodge of Paris. Now I understand why the dates are offset. He's using dates based on the Anno Lucis, year 0 of the Masonic calendar, by adding 4,000 years to the Gregorian calendar. But I thought that calendar starts in March. The famous call of Pope Urban II. 20 years after the capture of Jerusalem from the Arabs by the Turks, Urban II convened the council. He promises a plenary indulgence to Christians who go and get Jerusalem back from the Turks. The result, the Jewish community on the road to Jerusalem found itself persecuted for no reason. 12,000 Jews would perish, not to mention the massacre of Ma'ara, where acts of cannibalism by Frankish crusaders were reported, or even the capture of Jerusalem, where approximately 30,000 were left dead. It signaled the beginning of centuries of wars of religion. Or how Louis VII, King of France, eager to be pardoned for the death of thousands of innocent people in the fire of the Church of Vitry, convinces the Pope to authorize him to lead his own crusade. The result, in Germany, a new outburst of violence against the Jewish community, and a monumental fiasco by poor Louis VII, cuckolded by his wife's uncle.
Bon bah je vais faire un truc, donc ça a déjà été dit, ça aussi, 5147, j'espère que c'est ça. Je vais tout noter puis on verra bien. 5147. Ah, 5149. « 5189 » « 5192 »
Famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Édité Tremendi bull of 5,187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5,190 AL, whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years. Hey, there are 2 dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL. A painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint-Jean d'Acre. Painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint-Jean d'Acre. I get the impression I've seen that before. In fact, I've read something on the Crusades before in the study. He clearly loves the subject. Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. Well, well. History of the Mortimer lineage. Looks like his ancestors have always sought to improve society, and have had an open attitude towards the arts. seems to be the list of grants and sponsorships given by the Mortimer family. In 1489, the Mortimer family participates in the purchase of the Caravel Santa Clara from Juan Niño, shipowner, on behalf of Don Luis de la Cerda. The vessel will be renamed La Niña. In 1645, the Mortimer family allocated a pension to be passed down the generations to the Nérac family from Bordeaux, shipowners and refiners from father to son, a family known for their expeditions to Africa and America. In 1567, the Mortimer family financed a brickworks in Qinhongdao in China, fitted out with 51 furnaces 3.5 meters high, in guise of a protocol gift for Long King, the emperor of the Ming Dynasty. I bet that brickworks helped maintain the Great Wall. From 1235 to 1280, the Mortimer family granted an annual pension to Albert the Great, Archbishop of Regensburg, in order to fund his research in the writing of De Mirabilibus Munci, books about the wonders of the world. Oh, the family tree. The first William Alexander Mortimer. He was born in 1131 and distinguished himself during the Third Crusade, during which he rubbed shoulders with Richard the Lionheart. He showed outstanding bravery during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre. He died in 1211 in the country of Westford at the age of 80. What longevity! Nice. Nothing is mentioned about his wife. The direct descendant of William Alexander Mortimer I was born in 1195 on his father's return from the crusade. Only son, more discreet than his father, it states that he was widely traveled. He produced only one descendant, named William Michael Mortimer. He died in 1275. There's no chapter dedicated to his mother. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, lover of the arts and the sciences, he took up politics at an early age. After rapidly becoming influential, he decides to retire from public life in order to organize conferences reserved for the elite with the aim of finding answers to world problems. Blah, 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 blah. He's also an only son, and the book doesn't mention any known descendant.
Ok, là c'est trop. Pas de père, pas de mère, pas de femme. Le truc, tu vas me dire qu'il est immortel, le gars, c'est ça? Parce que c'est tout ce que je vois, moi, là.
Alright. For one, the women of the lineage are not mentioned at all. What a cavalier attitude.
C'est ce que je disais.
Right. Let's see. Who else is there? All the descendants are called William Mortimer. There have been only male descendants. All of them only sons.
Ok, immortel, c'est pas possible autrement.
It's uncommon to have only one child in those days, let alone all only sons. How is that possible? It really makes you wonder if all those sons really are official.
C'est pas très logique comme mec.
I'm smelling something shady here.
Oui, la magouille, c'est que c'est le même mec.
Only son, a descendant with a singular name. He also took a wife and had only one child, named William again. Another at random. William Mortimer again. Only son, him too. Born in 1573 and died in 1665. Mortimers lived to a ripe old age, that's for sure. Discreet again. The summary states that he was an excellent merchant, and that towards the end of his life, he entered politics?
Bon, pour moi, c'est plié, il est immortel, le gars, donc ça m'étonnerait pas, vu qu'il faudrait vraiment un tas de fric pour pouvoir s'acheter tous les livres qu'il a, créer tous ces trucs-là, autant de fric pour avoir tous les bouquins, comme j'ai dit, ce genre de choses, etc. Il faut vraiment être immortel et accumuler les richesses, c'est pas possible autrement. Sinon, je sais pas. Alors, du coup, né en 1130, ouais, bah, il va pour 1131.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Alors, si c'est pas ça... Je vais faire avec toutes les dates que j'ai en tête, en fait.
Well, I got it wrong.
Donc
It
c'est pas
doesn't
ça...
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't
Ok,
matter.
donc ça... Il m'en reste deux, hein, 5149. Hein.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Et 5147, ok.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. A myna bird. Tell me the door code. Here I am talking to a bird. Shame on me.
Pas autre chose? Attends une seconde, lui, là.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. It's a funny date. That date in 5000 is something again. I wonder what in the world it means. Damn it. It doesn't work. 5190. I was pretty sure it was right. Maybe I didn't use the right dating system.
damn it. I really thought I was close. 1,190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4,000? I must have missed a subtlety. William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5,190. That's a funny date. Oh, the family tree. All right. For one, the women of the village are not mentioned at all. What a cavalier attitude. Right. Let's see. Who else is there?
Alors c'était qui? Alors attends 2 secondes que je regarde, parce que s'il est dedans c'est bien. Connard, sinon je fais une soluce. Ce qui me casse les couilles le machin. Hein. Ah putain, bon moi je vais me retirer. Revenir au sommaire, vas-y. Parce que j'ai une mémoire de poisson rouge évidemment.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of
William
Anno
Alexander
Lucis,
Mortimer.
5,190. That's a funny date.
William Alexander Mortimer. Pas un truc là.
Well. History of the Mortimer lineage.
C'est pas ça.
Looks like his ancestors have always sought to improve society and have had an open attitude towards the arts. Oh, the family tree. The first William Alexander Mortimer. He was born in 1131 and distinguished himself during the Third Crusade, during which he rubbed shoulders with Richard the Lionheart. He showed outstanding bravery during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre. He died in 1211 in the country of Westford at the age of 80. What longevity. Nice. Nothing is mentioned about his wife.
Alors j'ai que ces deux. Revenir au sommaire du livre. Ensuite se barrer. Ensuite. J'ai plus que ça. J'ai vraiment plus que ça. J'ai sa date de naissance et sa date de mort. Enfin, soi-disant, parce que je suppose qu'il est immortel, le gars. Je suis en train de tourner en rond comme un abruti. Donc, 1100, 1211 et 1131. Qu'on va tourner en...
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Well, I got it wrong.
Ok, là je sèche, franchement je sèche, j'y arrive plus, hein, j'en ai marre. Je sèche, je suis désolé, mais au bout d'un moment, merde quoi. 1191. Bon, ben on va voir.
Doesn't matter.
Ça me casse les couilles. Voilà, je comprends pas ce que j'ai fait de mal.
Open sesame.
D'accord, c'était 1100. Il manquait une année, c'est ça? C'est quand même pas mal. Il manquait une année. Il manquait une année. Mais je comprends pas. Salut Olivia. Non mais j'ai passé presque un certain temps sur l'énigme, donc au bout d'un moment, voilà quoi. Donc je vais t'expliquer. Le truc c'est que ça fait combien de temps que je suis sur cette énigme? Ça fait 30 minutes presque. Ça fait 30 minutes que je suis sur l'énigme et ça me rend fou. Ça me rend franc fou. Bah salut à toi Olivia déjà, hein. Bienvenue. Cher Lord Mortimer, je me permets de vous écrire afin que vous puissiez convaincre le président Washington de ne pas signer le Fugitive Slave Act en l'état. Nous devons absolument légiférer au niveau national et donc permettre à chaque État de choisir sa politique concernant les esclaves. Initialement prévu afin de régler un conflit entre la Pennsylvanie et la Virginie, nous risquons de légaliser la chasse aux noirs. Des hommes peu scrupuleux deviennent chasseurs d'esclaves et incapables d'en trouver en fuite. Ils se mettent à capturer le premier noir venu en le faisant passer pour un fugitif recherché. La situation risque vite de dégénérer. Merci d'avance, votre ami John Adams. PS, passez le bonjour à ma fille Elisabeth. Oui.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns, even for Mortimer.
Autre chose, je soupçonne Mortimer d'être un immortel, parce que vu son background généalogique, toujours William Mortimer, et il n'y a jamais de femme citée, il n'y a pas d'autres enfants que des hommes, que des fils. Du coup, bah, je me suis fait ma petite opinion là-dessus. Milord, j'espère que mon pli saura parvenir jusqu'à vous. Mes heures sont comptées, mon imprimerie m'a été confisquée et je suis enfermé à la forteresse de Schwisselburg. Si par chance vous pouviez intervenir en ma faveur, je vous en serais éternellement redevable. La tsarine Catherine ne devrait plus tarder à interdire toute loge de l'ordre doré sur son territoire. Notre horizon s'assombrit considérablement. Dans l'espoir que vous puissiez m'aider, votre ami Nikolaï Novikov.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Tremor.
Très débloqué berger.
It is possible to learn an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in and goes on. There are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
Alors, le truc que j'ai lu tout à l'heure sur la tsarine, tu vas pas me dire que notre ordre va être à l'origine de la fin de Nicolas et d'Anastasia, si? Bon, ce serait trop drôle et puis très tragique en même temps. Le présent a bien été livré. Timur Shah Durrani, roi d'Afghanistan, du Pendjab, de Sindh, de Massad et du Cachemire, ne devrait plus conserver son titre encore longtemps. Son fils Zaman prendra comme prévu sa succession, ne pourront alors reprendre les négociations. K.
This shows the forces present in America.
Mon ami, en remerciement des services rendus pour votre aide dans la lutte contre les Espagnols et la prise d'Oran, un bateau en partance pour Marseille en France vient d'être affrété. Sera caché à son bord quelques corps porteurs de la peste qui décime notre pays actuellement. Faites très attention dans la manipulation de ces caisses, car si l'une d'elles venait à s'ouvrir inopinément, vous risqueriez d'étendre la maladie à toute la France. Mohamed El-Kébir. Oh bah putain. Cher ami, comme souhaité, j'ai pu réunir mes amis afin de signer l'accord que vous m'aviez proposé. Cet accord portera le nom de Buttonwood. Si vous vous souvenez de l'endroit où nous sommes réunis quand vous nous avez rencontrés la première fois, vous comprendrez pourquoi ce nom. Si je vois la liste de mes confrères, Leonard Bilker, Hugh Smith, Armstrong... Grâce à votre aide, nous allons bientôt pouvoir nous réunir chez moi à la Tontine Coffee House. Au plaisir de vous revoir au plus vite, Hugh Smith. Ok, ça ne me dit rien du tout. Mon ami, j'ai bien reçu vos mots et je comprends votre situation. Je suis désolé de devoir vous affronter militairement. Mais si la situation vous oblige à me déclarer la guerre, faites ce qui vous semble juste. Sur vos conseils et le cœur là, je m'en vais rejoindre la coalition qui s'oppose à vous. Dans l'espoir de pouvoir vous servir à nouveau, Georges, roi de Hanovre, roi du Royaume-Uni, de Grande-Bretagne et d'Irlande.
Golden elixir. I'll keep it for later. It shows the forces present in Europe. It's clear that France is surrounded by her enemies. However, a large number has been underlined in bold. 26 million. I know what it is. It's an estimation of my country's population. All our neighbors have far fewer inhabitants.
William, quels que soient tes projets, notre père semble opposé à te laisser la main mise sur l'Europe. La Russie s'engagera très prochainement dans la coalition contre ta chère France. N'espère pas pouvoir résister très longtemps. Je te supplie, William, de ne pas insister. Tu es en train de déchirer notre famille. Ton père qui t'aime, G. PS, je viendrai à ton colloque, mais prépare-tu que ce soit le... Mais penses-tu que ce soit le moment propice? Très cher Lord Mortimer, en tant qu'ami de la Chine, soyez assuré que vous serez remercié pour vos informations. Son représentant, M. McCartney, se verra remercié sans autres espoirs d'arrangement nous concernant. Votre ami Kuai-Long Clenilung, empereur de la dynastie Qing. What is le délire? C'est un manipulateur et un espion, le mec, ou un vendeur d'informations? Parce que c'est quand même énorme le truc là.
It's locked.
It's locked. Ah, c'est de l'autre côté.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone, preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever.
De Humani Corporis Fabrica. Ah oui, j'ai fait ce que tu m'as dit, hein. J'ai mis subterfuge au niveau 1, puis j'ai pu ouvrir quelques boîtes. Ouvrage phare et monumental sur l'anatomie humaine. Oui, non mais le jeu me plaît toujours autant malgré le fait qu'il y ait des énigmes à la mort dans le cul.
What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here? It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies. Here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then? The Little Surgeon's Perfect Collection.
Immuniser la science, d'accord. Ukada kadi kukada. C'est du Klingon. Non, je déconne. J'espère que c'est pas ce que je pense, parce que sinon ça va me faire rigoler. Cthulhu! Où es-tu, Cthulhu? Alors, examiner, j'espère que c'est pas ça, mais...
Looks like obsidian or onyx. Must weigh a ton.
C'est strange, le truc.
These are feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid.
Peut-être que c'était vraiment quelqu'un.
The right hand is missing.
Lord Mortimer, comme convenu, j'ai changé votre ancienne serrure par l'une de mes inventions. En m'inspirant de votre ami médecin, Monsieur Guillotin, voici la maquette de votre prochaine serrure. Si vous appréciez mon prototype. Il est difficile d'imaginer l'ensemble, mais elle sera au centre de la porte actuelle. Ça fait un lien! Guillotin, c'était la guillotine, et il me semble que maman, elle avait plus de main. Donc elle a mis sa main dans une serrure, puis elle a plus de main. Crac, clac. Langue, science, important aussi. Ok, j'y penserai. T'as bien fait de me conseiller le jeu, ouais. Le but étant de ne rien changer au fonctionnement de la porte, mais d'y apporter un peu de piquant. Oh, tu parles du piquant, j'ai bien compris, hein, vu les visions que j'ai eues. En fonction de l'alignement des disques, la dite serrure s'ouvrira. J'ai appelé mon invention le jugement de foi, car si un curieux n'en a pas assez et tente de l'ouvrir, il s'en trouvera puni. J'espère que vous apprécierez le cocasse de la situation. Gustave montrant... Maître architecte. Maître connard, ouais. Ah. Cher ami, quel est le plus admirable des Olympiens? Nul autre que le roi des dieux, bien sûr. Contrairement à son père Chronos, il a appris à faire usage égal de sa force et de sa sagesse. Au lieu de craindre la puissance de ses enfants et de ses frères, il a accepté de partager le monde avec eux. Les hommes craignent sa foudre et louent sa justice. Il règne au lieu de dominer.
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
Le masque de fer, tu fais une référence au roi de France, je sais plus lequel. Cher Lord Mortimer, soyez assuré de mon entière dévotion. Comme convenu, les campagnes vendéennes se soulèveront très bientôt. Mon réseau de ces vertus a fait remonter la pression chez beaucoup. La décision de l'Assemblée constituante de voter la constitution civile du clergé est en train d'embraser la région. Le peuple rejette en masse les prêtres, jurant fidélité à l'État. Si vous pouviez vous assurer que la Convention donne le dernier coup contre le peuple, l'affaire serait réglée. Sans vouloir vous orienter, un enrôlement forcé pour un conflit lointain serait parfait pour définitivement soulever le peuple. Votre dévoué François Athanas Charrette de la Coutrie. De la Courterie ou de la Coutrie? Clé à motif occulte du feu. De la Contrie, ok.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those.
Petite découverte à science, ok.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Fire! Merde. Ah, je l'ai royal.
A table of alchemical elements. So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
Très cher ami, nos plans se déroulent à merveille. La loi Coinage Art Acte vient d'être voté. Votre projet de fonder la toute première banque d'Amérique ne devrait pas accuser de retard et s'appellera sans doute la Union Bank. Quant à la construction de la Maison Blanche, elle doit toujours commencer en octobre. Je n'accepterai aucun retard, vous pouvez me faire confiance. À bientôt, je l'espère. Thomas Jefferson, secrétaire d'État. Bah d'accord. Lord Mortimer, le tigre sommeur, j'ai, sur votre demande, attaqué Travancore et égorgé personnellement le plus d'anglais possible, mais sans une aide française. Je ne pourrais pas les repousser encore bien longtemps. Nos forces diminuent rapidement malgré vos nouvelles fusées. Aidez-nous, Tipi Saïb, sultan du Mysore.
Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me.
It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, Temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the Chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the Emperor evokes a future full of power and stability.
2, 3, 4, 24, 24, 7, 4.
Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. And it seems as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais.
3 rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long.
Ouais. Bah j'ai tout visité. Ah bah non.
It's locked.
Attends, alors... Monsieur, vos plans d'ingérence en Belgique se déroulent comme prévu. J'occupe comme il se doit l'armée prussienne. Votre envoi de canon à Vamy nous a assuré la victoire. Comme convenu, j'avertis le roi de Prusse des plans d'invasion de Custine avec l'armée du Nord. Je bouterai les Autrichiens hors de Belgique. Je me dois de rentrer sur Paris rapidement car je sens le sort de notre roi Louis sur le point de se régler de façon déshonorante et il m'est impossible de ne pas intervenir. Si vous aviez quelques missives à me remettre, je vous invite à passer comme à l'habitude par votre ami Monsieur Pérou. Cordialement, Charles-François Dumouriez, général de l'armée du Nord. Méthodique, ok.
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
Charles Mortimer, je regrette de vous informer que la pression ne pourra bientôt plus être ignorée. La tsarine Catherine, quand elle soutenir le comte de Provence et le reconnaître comme régent du royaume de France. Une fois le roi Louis disparu de la scène politique. Je suis désolé de vous annoncer de mauvaises nouvelles, mais attendez-vous à de sombres heures. Votre ami Elfried Bauer. Ouais, mais j'ai tout vu. Du coup, je sais pas ce qu'il faut faire maintenant. Ça j'ai vu, ça aussi. Ça aussi. Là, je suis perdu, je sais pas ce qu'il faut faire.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever.
Non, là, ça, j'avais vu.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Rien du tout.
It's locked. It's locked.
Je vois vraiment pas là ce qu'il faut faire. J'ai tout pris, j'ai tout touché.
Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the
globe.
cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me.
Alors, le globe. Ah ouais? Mais pourquoi je l'ai pas vu? Voyons si vous aurez le courage de venir me voir. Seul à seul.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is this stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from.
Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. It looks too easy. It could be a trap. It looks too easy. It could be a trap. Looks like the same as the one on the other side. This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Alors, ouais, j'avais oublié de remettre le micro. Toutes mes excuses. Il y a Livia sur le chat qui m'indique ce que c'est en fait. Et elle me dit 6646. Sauf que je comprends pas pourquoi. Ça fait 9949 de l'autre côté, mais je vois pas pourquoi en fait.
Whoa, whoa. The grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date. I'd better not mess up again. I know I'm on the right track here. Am I sure that the numbers I can see are the right ones?
C'est pas bon. Qu'est-ce que tu me donnes là? 9949. 6646. C'est pas ça du tout. Non, 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 stop, 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 stop. Tu me fais pas ça, s'il te plaît. Stop! Sérieux. Là, tu fais en ligne et ça me dit rien du tout. Stop, là, non mais, tu fais plus jamais ça. Plus jamais. Le truc, c'est qu'il faut pas me faire ça. Ça fait partie des règles aussi. En tant que modératrice, il faut pas me faire ça. Me spammer le truc comme ça m'aide pas. Ça m'énerve, c'est tout. Je viens de faire 6646. De mon côté. Désolé si je me suis pas énervé, hein, c'est juste que je voulais juste que tu t'arrêtes avant que tu continues. C'est pas grave, mais refais pas comme ça. Le truc en ligne, c'est le seul moyen de me perdre en fait. Donc ouais, abaisser la manette. Très débloqué, claustrophobie, mais c'est génial.
Wheels are stuck. Shit! I'm cornered like a rat.
J'ai fait comme tu m'as dit. J'ai fait comme tu m'as dit. J'ai fait 6646, j'ai fait comme un con ce que tu m'as dit.
Someone's coming.
Les chiffres à l'envers, c'est tout, hein.
Please don't let it be Mortimer. Who is it?
Deliberately avoiding me. 4 years ago I was his favorite, but nowadays I have to ask for an audience with his lordship.
Damn it! It's Peru.
Monsieur Peru! It's Mr. Deriche. I'm sort of trapped behind this painting.
What are you playing at, goddammit?
Help me out of here, please.
How can I open it?
There's a pedal under Lord Mortimer's desk. Can you see it?
There's no... Hang on. Yes.
Good. Now press it.
Yeah. Done.
You should see something resembling a frame with numbers. Yes? You have to turn them to set the combination. 1191.
Well. Poking our nose into Mortimer's little secrets, are we? You do surprise me.
It's not what you're thinking. I'll explain everything.
No, you will not, sir. It has nothing to do with me, and by the way, I never even saw you. So, I'll be on my way now.
Thanks again. I'm indebted to you. I won't forget this.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I've wasted enough time. I better get moving if I want to find my mother.
Je vais m'arrêter là parce que ça fait plus de 12 heures, donc je reprends dans 2 petites minutes. Hein, mais très franchement, je n'ai rien compris. Toi, t'as mis 9949. Mais dans ma tête, c'était pas ça. J'ai mis 6646. Ou alors j'ai inversé les chiffres. J'ai vraiment fait n'importe quoi alors. Oh, tant pis, je m'en fous, c'est fait.